Hello and welcome to Chuck's Culture Channel. And this time around, we're talking with Aline Mayagoitia, who plays the role of Katherine Howard in the multi-award-winning Broadway musical Six. The USA tour of Six plays the fabulous Fox Theater here in St. Louis, January 24th through February 5th, after which it moves on to many other venues in the country. Check out the Six website in the video description below to find out when it will be in your town. With a book, music, and lyrics by Toby Marlowe and Lucy Moss, Six tells the familiar story of the six wives of Henry VIII from a distinctly contemporary perspective by turning the Tudor queens into contemporary pop icons. Here's a bit of video to give you some idea of what to expect when you see Six, the musical.
Divorce, beheaded, die, divorce, beheaded, survived, and tonight we are live. Listen up and let me tell you a story. Welcome to the show, to the history mix. Switching up the flow as we add the prefix. Everybody knows that we used to be six wives, but now we're ex-wives. You must think that I'm crazy. You wanna replace me, baby? There's no way. Get down, you dirty rascal. Get down. You can build me up. You can tear me down. You can try, but I'm unbreakable. We're one of a kind, no category. Too many years lost in history. We're free to take our crown and glory for 9, 5, 3, 2, 1 more minute. We're six.
Okay, so that'll give you some idea of what you can expect to see when you go to see Six, the new Broadway musical, at the fabulous Fox. Now, it's playing here in St. Louis the 24th of January through February 5th. But to find out where it's playing in your area, just look at the video description field down below me, where you will see complete information, links to the show, and also the link to the website for my guest, Aline Mayagoitia, who plays Katherine Howard in the show. Aline, welcome to Chuck's Culture Channel.
Thank you so much for having me. Hi, everyone.
Hey, so just off the top, let's tell people a little bit about the show. It's about the six wives of Henry VIII, and they're just right. The total cast consists of his six wives. Yes.
Yes, plus our amazing band, our Ladies in Waiting.
Okay. What was the name of the band again?
The Ladies in Waiting.
The Ladies in Waiting, of course.
Yeah. They're named after real ladies in waiting of the real queens, actually. It's definitely a concept musical. Like, once you wrap your head around it, it's pretty simple once you're there. But it's definitely a departure from, like, here is the Tudor history that you expect from a book.
So tell us a little bit about your character, and then maybe we can go into what it's like playing this woman, and what kind of research you did and so on.
Yeah, so I play Katherine Howard, Katherine with a K, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
She's the fifth wife. She is she was the youngest when she got married to Henry VIII. We believe she was 17-ish, and then she got beheaded at 19, which, she didn't even make it to her coronation. So it was a very brief reign. And the really creative part about the way that Toby Marlowe and Lucy Moss, the writers of Six, I think they really took this as an opportunity, because they are British, and their initial public definitely had a way deeper understanding of these queens as we would as Americans for presidents and things like that. That they really wanted to subvert the expectation of every single queen. So, for example, Anne Boleyn, which is the most famous one, instead of being this like conniving mastermind, they made her like a kind of aloof punk girl who like doesn't care, and she just throws shit into the fire and is like, okay, blow up, you know. So I think for those queens that are better known, it was kind of more fun or more easy to just be like, if this is the expectation, what's the opposite? For Katherine Howard, kind of the we don't even have a portrait that we know is of her face. Like she really was lost to history. She was pretty much an orphan. Her dad was not really in the picture, and she was just like this kind of, you know, lady of high society by birth. So she lived in these homes being taken care of by like aunts and grandmothers and fancy duchesses, but really she was just kind of like an orphan left to fend for herself. So she started to become sexually active quite young, as young as 13. Obviously, from a modern standpoint, we know that she was very much sexually assaulted and groomed. We don't really know how she perceived those relationships, but from my point of view, you know, even if she fell in real love or in real, you know, affliction as a teenager would, the men that were taking advantage of her in these like duchesses' homes were definitely older and definitely should have known better. So by the time she became a lady in waiting to Anna of Cleves, which is the fourth wife, it's funny how all these wives kind of like interject with each other because it all happened so quickly. She caught the eye of Henry VIII, and he at that point was like 30 years older than her, and was just kind of in this place of, he already had a son, but he just wanted to be in love. And they say that he really kind of fell in like puppy love at his older age with her. And because, you know, she was this like, by all accounts, beautiful, super happy, super fresh and fun. And I think he really fell in love with her. And when he found out that she had had premarital sexual relationships, which again, fully abuse, but at that time it didn't matter, he was heartbroken and he had her beheaded, which is
kind of an odd way to show that you're heartbroken, don't you?
Yes, but you know, a few years before he had beheaded Anne Boleyn, who he literally broke up the church for. So I think his bar was quite low on that front. And the sad thing, one of my favorite anecdotes about Katherine Howard that really has informed my character as an actor is that once she found out she was going to be beheaded, she asked for the chopping block to be brought to her home so that she could, well, by home I mean the prison where she was being kept for the few weeks, so that she could practice kneeling down and placing her head correctly on the chopping block. So, I mean, you're talking about a people pleaser 19-year-old who was truly doing the best she could with everything she was giving and just following the directions of her family, who were like, well, we had Anne Boleyn, again, first, they were first cousins, Anne and Catherine. She was just following orders and trying to be the best wife she could to her king, which by the time she was an adult, I mean, she had basically been raised to believe that King Henry was omniscient. I mean, you know, talk about like the divine providence, you know, like there's an anecdote again that says that she thought he knew everything because he was God. So she didn't know she had to tell him she had had sexual relationships. She didn't know what that was. You know, she thought he would know because he's God.
Yeah, divine right of kings. Yeah, sure.
Exactly. So all in all, I think from a modern perspective, it's very sad and very dark. But what I think is really cool about what Toby and Lucy do with that story is if she's known as the slut, right? She's known as the promiscuous one. She's known as the one that like cheated on the king. Then they say, okay, well, who do we know in this pop girl group that is the language for this? You know, I always think of like Sondheim talks about the content dictates the form, and I think this is a really fascinating idea of saying, okay, if the content is queens, then who do we have as queens today? Well, it's all our pop queens, right? So who is the pop queen that most resembles this? And it's fully Britney Spears. It's this young girl who is beautiful and taken advantage of. Her parents use her as a tool for money, wealth, And when she's young, she's beautiful, she's excited, she's talented, so she goes along with it until she realizes, oh my God, the only thing I'm worth to all these people is just for my body or the money I can get them. And then it's too late. So in our show, Katherine Howard actually ends up being kind of the most wise one in some way. I mean, they're all leaders in the way that we drive the narrative together and kind of, fighting with each other through this competition of who had it the worst. But I really think as an actor, Katherine Howard is just kind of like sitting pretty in the back until her moment comes and she's like, oh, okay, yeah, let me tell you how it actually was.
Yeah.
And as an actor, that's really fun to play, to kind of upend this expectation of
upend the narrative. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really fun. I think they had the most liberty with her and they really took it. Honestly, it reminds me the most to Assassins, to be like, how can we tell all these historical stories of people that like didn't necessarily cross in the same, some of them did. Like Cleves, Bullen and Catherine, like, they were in the same timeline. But to say like in Assassins, like you don't really see the president. You don't see like the axis of all of these people and their.
You see the assassins, yeah.
Yes, and to say, okay, like let's do this vaudevillian thing here, let's do this pop concert thing, let's do a competition show, very like American Idol, The Voice, which also is like naturally very dramatic, but really works in this creative way where if I told you like, hey, we're gonna go watch this 7-hour play about Tudor history, a la like Wolf Hall or something, I'd be into that. But like I think most people my age would not be into that. I'm crazy. So like the difference between like a Wolf Hall and this is this point of view that I think really works.
Yeah, it comes at it from a totally different angle. It sounds absolutely fascinating, and I'm planning to be there opening night, so I'm looking forward to seeing this. Yeah. People may not know, by the way, that in addition to your theater work, I know you've done some other musicals aside from Six, that you also have done a fair amount of TV work. I'm going to look over here and see what show it is that you're best known for. Here it is, Love Life on HBO Max. Yeah. See, now I've never seen that, so I don't know anything about who your character is there.
That was it's this really cool show, pretty much an anthology series following, each season follows the love life of one person, and each episode is a different relationship in their life, which is I think a really fun concept. And the season that I was on, season 2, followed William Jackson Harper, another amazing theater actor that kind of has transitioned. I mean, come on, Emmy nominee. He is amazing, and I got to do this really fun episode with him about I was pretty much like the rebound after his divorce, so it was like a very interesting first date situation, and we had a lot of fun.
And in fact, let's pause right now to see a little bit of that, because I have your acting reel here from your website, which is also in the link below. So let's just break for a minute and watch some of that, because this also includes one of my favorite bits, which is an AOC thing you did for Viacom CBS Showcase. So be right back after this.
I'm just some asshole.
She's a fucking bitch.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but...
You can't say it, but I can.
Okay, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. She's... whatever.
Should we get out of here?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I'm gonna get some potato skins to go. I'm hungry. Do my feet stink?
No.
Marcus?
Yes.
May I have permission to straddle you? I took the seminar called Consent Can Be Sexy, and I really think it works.
Oh, wow.
Can I take off your shirt?
All right.
Pablo, I hope I'm not interrupting, but our first post on our official @officialKingCocaine Insta is going totally viral. Engagement is like through the roof.
Engagement?
Yes. Your followers are craving to see the inner workings of this cartel and to follow their product as it goes from jungle to table. Giveaway time! Tag 3 friends in the comments to win a free kilo.
Funny you're mad, I'm a woman who talks. Why you afraid of a girl from the Bronx? Can't stop yelling about my policies. Watch you run out of conspiracies. I'm Bigfoot. You say I'm a pinko commie, cause I wanna spread this money. Your show is like a shrine to me. Babe, I'm living in your head rent free. It's like you're in love with me. Estás enamorado de mí. You're in love with me.
Okay, so that's the acting reel from Aline's website. And also on her website, you can see the complete versions of the various things. You just see selections from in there. So really, I would recommend you click on her website below and check it out. There's some great stuff there. Aline, thanks so much for joining us here on Chuck's Culture Channel. I wish you and the cast best of luck with 6 as it tours.
Thank you, Chuck. We're having a blast. Honestly, I think the funnest part of this experience has been truly becoming best friends with all of these girls that you see here.
I'll bet, yeah.
It really feels like I'm on a rock tour with my best friends, and that's the best part.
Yeah, because it looks like you would really have to become very close for something like this.
Yeah, especially because it's a competition show, and I think the fact that it's an all-female cast and almost an all-female company. We only have 6 men traveling with us, which is like unheard of for theater. Everyone's always like, okay, it's an all-girl cast. Like, is it really good? Are y'all really getting along? And we're like, yes, truly, yes. We are proving everyone wrong.
That's great.
And that alone feels really good.
So 6 the musical coming to the Fox Theater and coming to a theater near you real soon. Check the information below. That's it for this edition of Chuck's Culture Channel. This is Chuck Lavazzi and Aline
Mayagoitia.
Yeah, there you are, because you're better pronouncing it than I am. Thanks for joining us. Hey, share us on the socials. Tell your friends about it. Let everybody know about Chuck's Culture Channel, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.